Today I'm going to review this SSD right here. Oh, there's nothing there, you say? Yeah, well that's because fucking Sabrent has had my SSD for like 9 months and I haven't been able to get it back. In this video I'm going to review not the actual SSD because that's been basically missing for more than half a year, 8 months, 9 months, something like that. What I'm going to review here is Sabrent's absolutely shitty RMA process. So I bought a Sabrent Rocket. It's a Gen 3 drive, 4 terabyte, incredibly overpriced, especially considering the competition of their products offer better products for a lower price, but that's besides the point here. So basically what happened here is in June of 2024, it's February right now, 2025, so significantly later in the year. Back in May, June, I had an SSD. I plugged it into my system and it just didn't work. No problems before that. It just didn't initialize. Absolutely nothing was working on the drive. It wasn't anything shocking. You know, sometimes SSDs do break. It is possible. I've never had one break. Of course, it's the Sabrent one that breaks. So I contacted them, said, you know, I have this SSD. This fiasco started in the summer of last year. I had the issue with the SSD, contacted their support. They ghosted me for a while. Eventually, after weeks, they finally responded with some, you know, help type back and forth type thing. I showed them some screenshots of it not working. Okay, finally, they said, okay, well, based on the information you have provided, we have determined that the unit is faulty due to the status of device. We will continue to verify unit as a warranty, blah, 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 blah. Sent them my invoice after that. Okay, so then they had my invoice showing when I bought it. Then they said to me, okay, well, what you're gonna do is you're gonna have to send this in. So I paid for a label, I paid for it, bought the drive, didn't work, then paid for the label to return it, which is expensive because it's across the whole country. Got to put insurance on it as well. It's an expensive product. Sent it across the country. Finally, they get it. Eventually, I finally pester them and I say, you know, I sent the information, this and that. Then they said, okay, we're out of that model. They don't have that model. It's a slightly older model, so they're out of it. So then I said to them, okay, well, you know, if you don't have that model, send me another 4 terabyte, as any other company in the world would do, because they're probably not making those ones anymore. Okay, that's fine. Well, you know, we'll have a look at it. We'll keep you posted. They love to say, we'll keep you posted. That's what they love to say here. Mr. Diego loves to say, we'll keep you posted. I keep pestering them back and forth. You know, what's going on? Are you going to replace it? Are you going to do something? November. Hello, Diego. It is now November. I submitted my RMA September. I would like to know when my SSD will be replaced. I realize you may not have this specific model in stock, but I think at this point you should just replace it with a different 4 terabyte offering. This is what any other company would do in this circumstance. Please let me know the resolution. Blah, 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 going on and on. Hope this, there's their reply now. Hope this email finds you well. We're truly sorry about the inconvenience that you've experienced. No, they're not. No, they're not. Unfortunately, the warehouse has informed us that the model is still out of stock. So, okay, so they're never getting this product. It's an older product. Alternatively, we could offer you the SBRKT4P-4 terabyte, that will work for me. Okay, thanks for your response. Yada, 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 yada. Okay, so we'll just do a little bit of a time jump here. Another month later. It has now been 3 months since I started my warranty claim. The return was delivered to Sabrent 22 days ago as well. I have been told many weeks ago that I would be sent a replacement drive. I'm wondering when I will receive my replacement. Thank you. Dear Bo, blah, 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 blah. The warehouse, blah, blah, blah. The warehouse has not inspected it. I don't care. Why the hell doesn't your warehouse expected it? Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Eventually I had to threaten them, and say, this is insane that I had to do this, by the way. I went in, you know, just as a consumer, and then I said, okay, well, you know what? I'm a YouTuber and I'll make a video about this if you're not going to even reply to my RMA request. Insane that I had to do that. Okay, no problems. Waiting. Kept going back and forth. Eventually they started ghosting me. Then I said, all right, well, I guess I'm going to have to go ahead with this video, just, you know, explaining how insane this is. Like, what the hell's going on here, right? I send in a drive. I pay for the drive under warranty. Then I have a defective drive. Then I pay to send it into them and it's crickets. And I have to constantly badger them just to be told, hi, Bo, sorry to disappoint you. No, they're not. Okay, so now we're into January 22nd. This is many months after I started this and still way in the past from now as well. We're coming up to 3 weeks later. Hope this message finds you well. Wanted to provide you with an update regarding your unit. Unfortunately, the unit has still not been marked as inspected. I truly understand this delay may be inconvenient. No, you don't. Just fucking send a new one. Please rest assured that as soon as we have the updates, I will notify you, yada, 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 yada. Okay. And then I sent them another one after that saying like, this is insane. October, November, December, January, we're coming up 6 months now. The product hasn't even been inspected yet. I rushed that product to them. They've had it for like 5 months or 4 months or something like that, and it hasn't even been inspected yet, let alone sending out a product to replace for me. So at this rate, it's looking like it's going to never be replaced, ever. They're just going to continually say, hasn't been inspected, hasn't been inspected, hasn't been inspected, until the consumer, in this case me, gives up and says, well, I'll just eat that huge loss, or they just start ghosting me, or who knows. So I decided to make this video because here's the thing. I was able to get them to respond to me by threatening them to make a YouTube video. That is unacceptable. The fact that I have to leverage my ability to speak to the world, or my viewers, I guess, on YouTube, on a platform, to get any response is unacceptable. Grossly, grossly unacceptable, and a misabuse of their power as the company that now has my product that I paid to send back. Like, I can't even get it. Like, they have it now. I'm completely screwed now. The fact that I need to threaten them as a YouTube person to even get a response is unacceptable. Then there's the fact that it's just been continually ongoing. Even with that, they are still so unbelievably inept and useless as a company that they haven't even inspected the product yet. Do you have so many defective products coming back from your consumers that after 4 months of having my SSD, 4 months, you haven't popped it into a little enclosure and seen if it's working? Either you just say and you just throw them out and you just wait for the customer to give up, or you have completely inept staff, or you are getting so many returns because your products suck that you have a massive backlog of products that need to be inspected for RMA. All of these things are inappropriate. Each one of these is bad. That's bad, that's bad, that's bad. Now put all three of them together, that's real bad. So that's my basic takeaway with the Sabrent. That's my basic takeaway with the Sabrent RMA process. I cannot recommend any Sabrent products right now. I actually have a Sabrent SSD enclosure, a 5-bay SSD enclosure that's behind me. I was going to do a review on it. It's a SATA SSD enclosure. I was going to do a review on it. That, you think that I'm going to review a product I bought this, by the way, review this product, say it's good or bad or whatever, potentially give it a recommendation because maybe it works, and then someone buys it and it breaks and they have to go through what I'm going through. Unacceptable. So I will not be reviewing any Sabrent products going forward, or if I do decide to review them, in that review every single time, I am going to reiterate how absolutely nightmarish and abhorrent this RMA process has been. That still hasn't resolved, by the way. It still hasn't resolved. I may never get this back. This is just, 6, 7 months later. I'm still dealing with it. So I'm going to put a disclaimer in all of my videos if I ever review any Sabrent things and tell them how unbelievably unacceptable this is. I am 100% sure that this will completely destroy any chance of ever collaborating with Sabrent, but I don't give a shit. I don't want to, because this is the experience. I pride myself as being an honorable person, as being an honest person, and giving opinions that I deem as, this is my actual opinion, informed by that, and potentially I can bring in community opinions as well, but I try to inform my viewers of a experience that I've had with the product, my actual opinions of it, and potentially the after effects. In this case, I cannot recommend their products. Even if they work, they're very expensive, by the way. Sabrent stuff is very expensive. Even if they work, what if it breaks? I have made several products in my lifetime, even with Asus. Asus is so bad, everyone shits on them. I had a warranty claim with Asus where I sent in an ADP, damaged product. I broke it. I dropped my laptop. The screen broke. The process was super easy. I sent it in and I got it back and I paid nothing. And then look at Sabrent here. This is like a defective product that has been an absolute nightmare for many months. So I think that right now, as it stands right now, I cannot recommend any Sabrent products. It's a roll of the dice. You buy their products, sure it works, but if it breaks, you are completely screwed. So yeah, just keep that in mind. When you're buying a product, if the warranty is experienced like this, you should definitely avoid it, especially if you're paying more anyways.